Hi everybody. I know I'm live in my VIP group right now, and I wanted you to see the difference a brow can make. This is a video by request that my friend Jen wanted to know how to use the Brow Obsession palette. She got one of these in a collection and was not sure how to use it. It can seem a little intimidating. Why are there 5 things here and they're just numbered? So what I did is I went ahead and wiped off my eyebrows today and put just one back on, and then I'm going to do this one for you to see. But first of all, just kind of take a look. It's kind of amazing the difference a brow makes. It really adds the frame to your face. So this palette, it comes in 3 colors. So there's blonde, and I have blonde and brunette, and then there's an even darker one than the brunette. And so I'm going to use the blonde one now because my hair is really light right now, but I kind of can fluctuate between the blonde and the brunette. And so the way this is going to work is there is a special brush that you can buy that has 2 ends, but mine is dirty right now. And so I'm going to use the same type of brush, but I just have 2 brushes. It has an end like this and an end like this. And that's what I'm going to use with this. So the first thing that I would say when you're doing your brows is you're going to brush your brow down. When you brush it down, it's easier to see the shape of the natural arch on the top of where the hairs are growing. And that way you make kind of the most correct and natural line. Now, I'm going to take an angled brush. So you want something that has a small angle control. All right, and I'm going to come into this first. It's color number 1, which is the lightest color in this palette. So I'm going to show you a full faded brow. And so you come into the lightest color, and what you do, this is how I do my brow, is I start out on the bottom and I make a line kind of with the shadow going all the way to where there's the break in the arch. Okay, and then I come back in and fill in the rest. And this is that first lightest color. And I'm only going to the top of that arch pretty much. Okay. And so here's where I'm at with that filled in. All right. And then you can come into, now you could do your whole brow with this color if you wanted, or you could do your whole brow with this darker shade, but I'm going to show you how to utilize all of it. So with the darker shades, same brush, I'm going to come in, and now I'm going to define that outer half of my brow with that darker color. And I'm just going to go ahead and pull it all the way to the tail end, and then actually kind of come in and make sure it fades into the other color nicely. Okay. And then what I do is I go ahead and brush it all through to make sure that it is softened. Any excess powder kind of falls out. And this way, that's kind of how you form that brow. Okay. Now, the next step, it says number 3, has this pink cream, and it's like, what is this for? Well, this is for you to really cut your brow, and not like cut with a scissors, but cut the shape of it. And so I'm going to use this flat, straight across brush, and this is like how everyone gets what they call like the Instagram brows. And so what you're going to do is take this pink, and you're going to really sharpen that area underneath and lighten it up, as well as over top the brow that you just filled in. Okay, and so I kind of do this with the flat end right against my skin. Okay, and you can see, like if I come back, you can see that that doesn't look like blended or anything. And so now, once I get that kind of placed, like, okay, my brow is chiseled, it's really sharpened. Now you can take your brush and go this way, and you can wipe off any excess of that color. and then now take it and blend that in. I kind of take the brush the wide way and blend that in. I have also used this pink cream, especially when I was traveling, and I use this as like a base underneath my eyeshadow. It's a great application that you can do with that. And then, because it's always harder to do the second brow, because sometimes they don't want to be twins. And so now you just make sure that your inner corners going back into that light color are definitely matching, right? So I want to make sure that they're even and matching. And then I'm going to take this and make sure that it's almost like the pink cream is kind of like it not only sharpens the brow, but it's also kind of like an eraser, so that if you do something, you know, where you're like, ooh, I went a little too far, it flips it up. Oh, hi, Amanda, thanks. So the pink cream is giving you that really defined brow. Then, so that was step number 3. Now, step number 4 is easy. You just pick a finger. I usually use my ring finger, and I just kind of go and get a generous amount of this kind of glimmery yellow cream. And this is where you're going to highlight right under the brow bone right here. And it's just going to help some light bounce off of that. It'll work with any eyeshadow combination you have going on, and it's going to make light reflect off of this bone, and that's going to also sculpt your face and really shape it. So you can definitely see the difference like that brow makes. Now, to get it all to stay exactly how you want it is pick a different finger that doesn't have your sparkly stuff on it, and I come into number 5, which is a wax. And this is where I just kind of get some on my finger and then just gently set this brow so that it's not going anywhere. And what you can do is, if you want, depending on how your hairs grow, you can do the wax and then brush it into place and just let it set. And that way, because sometimes you have brows that like kind of grow all different ways, so you might need to brush it through, or if your brows are pretty controlled, you can just do it with the finger and then let it go. But it makes a huge difference, and you get that great defined brow, and it's very natural looking, and I feel like the powder is very easy for people to use. So it numbers them 1 through 5, and so that helps you remember the order that I did this in. And you know, all you really need are some brushes to go with this. And like I said, the Brow Artist brush that Younique has, again, I'm so sorry, it's in my stash of dirty brushes that I need to wash, but it has 2 ends to it. It has an angle tip like this, and it's like a double-ended brush, so you get 2 in 1, and that really is what you need, plus some kind of a lash or brush comb like this to brush them out. Or if you have a clean spoolie, you know, one of these kind of brushes, you could do that too. So Jen wanted a brow video, so I made it. I'm going to tag her in the comments so she sees it. This is such a great product for eyebrows. I love it. Hopefully you guys learned a little something with this technique. So have a great night,